marathon of the regular season has given way to the sprint of the division series. Teams must adjust and keep pace or see their season slip away.
Get up out of that cell now. Welcome to the battleground.
A standout performance from Chicago's John Lester was not enough in Game 1 as Lackey and the Cards imposed their will.
We work really hard, to put ourselves in this position.
Now, the Cubs must quickly regroup while St. Louis reloads for a pivotal Game 2. Jacob deGrom and Clayton Kershaw put on a show in their series opener.
13 strikeouts for deGrom.
Yeah, pitch me, plain and simple.
After their home loss to the Mets,
Murphy with a rocket into the Mets bullpen.
LA now looks to ace Zach Greinke to help draw the series even. NLDS Game 2s are next.
In Game 1, two former teammates and good friends both pitched great baseball, but Lackey was a little bit better, and 1-0 the series lead in the shadows of Busch, and we'll get to that in a second for Game 2, where Jason Hayward, who had a hit in Game 1, is looking to make more of an impact against Kyle Hendricks, who makes the start for Joe Maddon's Cubs, as we welcome you inside our studios here in Atlanta. It's MLB pregame on TBS, presented by our good friends at Chrysler. Casey Stern, my usual castmates, the Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez, Gary Sheffield, Dusty Baker. Let's start and talk about, as we look at this time of day, and I see Pedro smiling already because we're going to take you with a very cool little graphic we have into the shadows. And all of a sudden, does it look like lunchtime, Pedro, when you start to see what we're going to show you for the shadows? And I know you were telling us how you worked that changeup, so how about the pitchers using the change specifically today?
Well, if I'm one of those pitchers, as soon as I get to the field and I see that the shadows are going to be working, I'm already touching the ball and seeing how it feels for the changeup, because that's the pitch that actually makes everything look like a shadow, even when it's normal situation. Now, when you go and you find those shadows and you have a good fastball and you command it, and then you can have that changeup, that's going to make it look even worse, because what you use the changeup for is to use it as a change speed to make you look like it's a fastball, and then it's a changeup, it's slower. Well, the shadow makes it even worse. So I'll make sure I get the feel for the changeup. I get a hold of that changeup in the bullpen before I go in. And now when I get to the game, I'm certainly ready to use it for as long as the shadow is there. And then by the time they realize it, we'll probably be
too late.
Yeah, it's
well,
too
and you
late.
know what that's like. So how about the hitter's side, Chef? How do you change at all your approach, and talk about, for those at home, the impact specifically of the shadows for you?
Well, we know it's going to be difficult at this time, and when they come out of the sunlight to the dark part, and now all of a sudden you have to decide if it's a strike or not. There's a lot going on. So there's all kinds of things you can do. You can use shades to kind of even the look of the field. The pitcher is trying to get you to look at his arm angle, like Pedro said. He's going to shoot out a fastball, but his changeup is coming out of the same slot. But as a hitter, you have to say, okay, I'm just going to eliminate one side of the plate,
right,
and I'm going to look in certain location, and I'm going to adjust to that location, and that's all you can do until you get into later innings.
Well, then once there's contact, now let's get to the outfield. Both of you guys were in that spot. So take us, Dusty, into the outfield, and how, as the game goes along in a game like this with the shadows, it could affect you.
Well, to play the outfield, you have to see the flight of the bat through the strike zone. And that's going to tell you if the ball is going to slice, if it's going to hook. And see, you really don't see that slice. So what you have to do, you have to wait just a little bit longer to get a jump. So if you see some of the guys are fooled out there, or even you might even lose it in the light. So I'm not surprised if some of the guys will lose it in the shadows today.
We'll see how the pitchers do. Let's get to an interesting pitching matchup, guys. Both are very good stories. When you look on the Cubbies end for Kyle Hendricks, and then you look at Jaime Garcia, what a great story. You're there at the end of camp, and it's all about the staff, and maybe Marco Gonzalez comes in, and here's Garcia, one of the great stories, probably in comeback stories in baseball this year. Let's start with Hendricks. Pedro, we talked about the changeup. You think about breaking stuff. Hendricks can do a little bit of everything to you.
Well, this is a kid that if he's on, it could be a pretty good game because Garcia can match him pitch by pitch, and he knows how to pitch as well. But this kid is not your usual right-handed that you see every day. He's a little bit of a short armor, effectively wild sometimes, can move the ball different ways, and his movement between pitches it's so big. It's such a large margin between pitches, from the fastball to the breaking ball, from the breaking ball to the sinker, and the changeup. The changeup can be really deceiving, and for a guy that hasn't been seen as much from the St. Louis Cardinals, I think could be a huge impact for the Cubbies.
Now, he gets his first postseason start, so it'll be important. We'll see how he settles early. For Jaime Garcia, Shep, that's a different story. He's been here before, and this is a guy who deserves, based on the way he pitched this year, to be in this spot in Game 2.
Absolutely, he deserves it. I mean, this guy, he's a bulldog when he gets that ball in his hand. He can paint the corners. He can pitch on the inside part of the plate, which is very rare for a left-hander. I mean, he's not afraid to go in there. But you got to remember one thing. He's had Molina for a long time catching him, and he's directing his path. I want this ball here, and when you're a young kid and you can hit that mitt, I will trust Molina when he tells me to throw it there.
And Dusty, you've seen him several times.
Have I? Too many times. I mean, the guy has a great breaking ball. He has a great breaking ball. He can throw that fastball on the inside. The guy can hit. Right. He can feel his position. I mean, this guy is a complete pitcher. It's just a matter of him staying healthy.
Right. Yeah, we'll see, and we'll get into a little bit later what we get from the starters and then into the bullpen. We're also going to break down the hitting side of the middle of the order, 0 for 21. The 3-4-5 coming in so far in the postseason, including Anthony Rizzo. We come back on the MLB pregame presented by Chrysler. More getting you ready for Game 2 on TBS.
We don't have to worry about predators like our ancestors did. No saber-toothed tigers stalking from the brush. No dire wolves circling the camp. There are no more monsters to fear. And so, we have to build our own.
FanDuel has definitely changed my Sundays. It's made it a lot more interesting.
FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues are paying $75 million a week with immediate cash payouts and no commitment.
I've deposited a total of $35 on FanDuel and won over $2 million.
Just choose a league, pick your team, and get your cash winnings after Monday night.
It's like the best adrenaline rush ever.
Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Go to FanDuel.com and enter promo code END.
Hey, Dad, who is that man?
He's our broker. He helps look after all our money.
Do you pay him?
Of course.
How much?
I don't know exactly.
What if you're not happy? Does he have to pay you back?
Nope.
Why not?
It doesn't work that way.
Why not?
Are you asking enough questions about the way your wealth is managed? Wealth management at Charles Schwab.
This is Gordon. Downtown for a sales call. West Side for a presentation. Meeting after meeting. That's why Gordon stops at Exxon and Mobil for fuels that help his engine run cleaner, smoother, and with better fuel economy. So he can make it to the meeting that matters most. Gordon is energy. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
College basketball's grandest stage awaits. The championship game. We'll have it on TBS. The moments they talk about for a lifetime.
Looks like we made it. Nothing's gonna tear us apart. We keep it in the family, 'cause that's the way it's supposed to be. Looks like we made it.
The MLB postseason pregame show on TBS is brought to you by Chrysler.
All right, welcome back to MLB pregame on TBS, presented by Chrysler. take a look at Chris Bryant, obviously looking to play better. 3 for his last 30 coming in. Make sure you follow every pitch of the season with MLB.com @bat. The #1 app for live baseball. Stay connected with highlights, replay, reviews, scores, pitch tracking, live radio broadcasts, and more. You can download the @bat app today. We take a look. Speaking of Bryant Rizzo and Castro, guys, 0 for 21. The 3-4-5 hitters in hibernation, if you will, to this point in what we have seen so far in the postseason. We'll get a chance to take a look at all 3 of them because they're in the lineup here. And here's the way it's set up for Joe Maddon's club. Leading off in center field, 3 hits and a home run in the wild card game, Dexter Fowler. And then in the 2-hole, it is Jorge Soler getting the start in right field. And you know what? He's got a little bit of a Vlad Guerrero to him in terms of the athleticism and some of that pop in that bat, Pedro.
Well, I like this matchup. I like this kid. This is a kid that could hit the ball the other way. Jaime Garcia, a guy known to go that way. So I'm expecting this kid to actually help out a little bit this lineup. And not only that, inject a little bit of energy to that lineup. I think the Cubs need a little bit of energy with the confusion that's going on with Rizzo and Bryant not performing. That super phenom needs to also get on base. And Soler being on top of the lineup, I think could become really, really smart for Madden today.
Soler in the 2-hole, he'll be in right field. Then hitting third, it is Chris Bryant, who will end up being the Rookie of the Year in the National League. Now the cleanup hole to Anthony Rizzo, who we all remember, and let's go there first, Chef, how great he was during the year. Why?
Because he had a nice rhythm going. You saw his leg kick, and his foot was landing soft. So he was in position and hitting to a straight line. And when I mean hit to a straight line, your feet are even. And so when that ball's away from you, all you have to do is just get extended, and you can drive the ball to the opposite side of the field. And if they come inside, all you have to do is use your turn on that pitch. He's guessing at the wrong part of the count, then he's looking for breaking balls at the wrong part of the count, and he's confused right now. He's off. He's confused up there. I mean, look, his foot is already down. He's looking for a breaking ball because he wanted down to sit on the breaking ball. And they shoot a fastball. You can't make the adjustment. Here you see him. He's looking inside part of the plate. They running something outside part of the plate, and he don't have no bottom half to attack that pitch. So when you're a middle-of-the-order hitter, not only that you're affected as a player because you need confidence, the guy hitting before you is not going to get the pitches that he wants in Bryant, and it may be a result of his struggles.
Yeah, for Bryant and Rizzo, they need to play a little bit better. For Starlin Castro, maybe this is the game that gets him going a little bit, Dusty. He's had a nice career so far against Jaime Garcia. Why do you like him in the matchup here?
Well, I like him in the matchup here because he's the guy that's had the most at-bats against Jaime Garcia. And plus, he's a guy that can hit good pitches. He can hit bad pitches. He can hit pitches, mistakes. You really don't have any one way to pitch him. Now, I got to give the Cardinals a lot of credit. They scout as well as anybody, and part of that might be why Rizzo and Bryant aren't hitting, because, they can do that. But this guy here, comes to play. He's young and energetic, and he's not afraid.
We take a look at the rest of the lineup. Bryant, Rizzo, Castro in the middle, 0 for 21. Then Austin Jackson, also strikeout prone. He's in the 6th spot in left field. We'll get to that in a second. Miggy Montero, 2 at-bats in his career against Garcia, 1 of a home run, so watch him tonight. In the 8th spot, it is Joe Maddon after all. Here's Kyle Hendricks, the pitcher, and that means trying to turn that lineup over is the rookie Addison Russell at shortstop. We talked about left field because it's Jackson and it's not Kyle Schwarber. Pedro, we were watching these highlights and talking about these games, and you said he right now the toughest at-bat in this lineup.
If I'm pitching on the other side, I have a fresh mind, because with the struggles that Rizzo is facing right now, and being the left-handed power bat that they have in the lineup, I'm a little bit cooler, because this kid is actually the left-handed that I would probably be cautious about in the middle of that lineup. And Schwarber, not only that, has swung the bat well in the last 2 games in the postseason. So the fact that his presence is not there, his power is not there, I think relaxes me a little bit more with the struggles that Rizzo is going through. I think.
But see, you're a right-hand pitcher, though. See, you think the 143 is, think he was a product of the numbers?
Even as a lefty, I still think this kid is a bigger matchup to Garcia than Austin Jackson might be.
Well, that's definitely misleading, though.
Right.
Because, as you know, in baseball, as a hitter, this is a confident game. if you have confidence, you may hit a tough pitcher, a right-hander, that home run he hit the other day. Now he comes into this game, he has confidence going.
You think
whether it's a lefty or not, he think he can hit anybody. So I would throw that out the window, and I would not take this guy out the lineup because of Rizzo and Brian's struggle.
And something to remember about Garcia. Lefty is not always what it seems. As you pointed out earlier when we were talking about Garcia, 250 batting average against. He's got actually better numbers against righties than he does lefties. Lefties have an easier time, even during a great season, a little bit better than the 218 that he's got on the other side.
And
so
you might be a manager.
Well, you know.
But also,
I'm in there as a special assistant.
But you look at that big swing, though. You know, he may throw a changeup that this guy can get extended on and pop one for you too.
Let's take a look on the back end, guys. 283 times this season we've seen this, most in the live ball era. The pitcher in the 8th spot. Joe Madden loves to do this. Dusty, what is your thought about how often this is getting used, and specifically here tonight?
Well, you know, one of my thoughts is that it really hasn't been an advantage or a disadvantage. I mean, Tony La Russa, a lot of people think Tony started, which he did in modern baseball, but Casey Singles started years and years ago.
Right.
And, Tony did it because he wanted to get Mark McGwire, more at bats, and then he shelved it for a while, and then he did the same thing, to get some runners on in front of
Pujols.
Pujols.
Right.
And so, in this game, the fact that Hendricks is not a very good hitter, I think he's hitting 071. I don't think it comes into play.
Well, you only hit 8th once, you only hit 9th once, you only hit 1st once. So everything has to have a reasoning behind it. They may want to turn the lineup over, get that extra leadoff hitter. I mean, they did it a lot in New York with Kenny Lofton and those guys. They hit him down in the order, knowing that he was a number 1 hitter.
But in this case, Dexter Fowler's like 0 for 9 off of Garcia.
Well, here's the other thing. You said you maybe handle as a pitcher, right? Talk about the attack of 6-7 in this lineup, Pedro, when you look at it now.
I think Madden has an idea behind it.
Exactly.
I don't know what kind of feeling he has with this kind of situation with one of those batters in the top of the lineup, but I guarantee you, that what he's probably expecting is to get better pitches to those guys in front of the pitcher, and Addington Russell is swinging the bat well. He's got a good feeling. I don't know what it is, but he has something good going.
Yeah,
but like you just said,
he don't hit left-handers.
But like you just said,
he doesn't hit left-handers.
Fowler's 0 for 9. That's the extra leadoff guy.
Yep.
That's if he gets on, and now we may have to hit and run with Fowler or Bunning.
Addison Russell doesn't hit left-handers though.
Well, he's going to have to in this series.
Sure.
We'll continue this debate during the break. No debate how big Matt Holliday has been. A pitching lesson with Pedro is coming up next. We're taking you to school. Don't move.
Hey, everybody.
Guys? Higher stakes.
This is a trap.
Taller stacks.
Gotcha.
Do you have any abridged versions on tape? We're kind of busy.
They know we're here.
Didn't see that one coming. Heroes like these
They're here!
are long overdue. The Librarians season premiere, November 1st at 8.
It's happening.
This is the feeling of turning a game you love into a lifetime of cash. DraftKings.com, the daily fantasy baseball destination, is giving away over $300 million this baseball season. And the games are one day, so you can play for your share every single day. Just pick your sport, pick your players, and pick up your cash. Step up to the plate at DraftKings.com. Play with promo code SLIDE and get free entry in our daily contest. Get to DraftKings.com.
Brisket is a cut of beef that's been smoked for at least 13 hours. Bacon is a present pigs give you when you're good. Flatbread is a shape of bread. Arby's, we have the meats.
Head & Shoulders with Old Spice, America's #1 male dandruff brand, keeping you 100% flake-free, guaranteed, while smelling 100% handsome. Take a whiff. Head & Shoulders with Old Spice.
We're on the road. showing real people the stain-fighting power of OxyClean.
Stains on t-shirt, I see it coming out pretty quickly. The stain is gone.
That's a huge difference. You could see how it was really disgusting and how white it is now.
Looks like the stain is coming out. The OxyClean started to lift it up. I'm pretty impressed.
OxyClean, America's #1 versatile stain remover. Now get the power of OxyClean in a detergent. One cap beats 4 of theirs. OxyClean gets the tough stains out.
And when you bundle your home and auto insurance through Progressive, you'll save a bundle.
Jamie,
Right.
make a bad bundle joke. A buck goes in the jar.
I guess that's just how the cookie bundles. Now you're gonna have 2 bundles of joy.
I'm not pregnant.
I'm gonna go.
There you go.
Bundle bee coming. It was worth it.
Saving you a bundle when you bundle. Now that's Progressive.
All right, welcome back to the MLB pregame on TBS, presented by Chrysler. You take a look at Kyle Hendricks getting a chance to make his first postseason start. Joe Maddon has loved him all year long. He's matured as a pitcher. On the other side, Jaime Garcia has been here before. Great story he has been. He'll get his battery mate Yadier Molina back behind the plate in game number 2. Now, we talked about the changeup and the importance, especially with the shadows. So, Pedro, why don't you show us, and I know you were showing Chef a little bit before the show, about how exactly you threw one of the best changeup in the history of baseball.
Well, because I was probably an 80% cross-seam fastballs, I would just move from the fastball just so that I didn't give away too much, and also in the rotation of the ball, I would just go from the cross-seam fastball, which is this way. See, I'll hold it this way and center it down in here. Cross-seam fastball all the way to the top. Hold the seams on the top with the tip of my fingers. And then I'll just move these 2 fingers to these seams right here, which is just like the fastball. But then I'll have this finger right here, index finger, touching these seams so that I can create the move I needed from the changeup. And that's why the changeup ran so much, because towards the very end, when I let the ball go, this finger will touch that seam in the inner part of the ball, and it will move that way, away from lefties and inside to righties, or backdoor changeup to a righty, which I did very often.
But
off the fastball,
but what about the one that you throw that I used to see, that I'm thinking you're trying to backdoor me, and then you'll drop one that goes straight down?
Well,
which finger do you move when you do
what I did was, instead of having these 2 fingers, middle, which will give me better location, I would just move off center a little bit, drop it a little bit, and let it roll. And instead of using this middle finger, which is the finger that's strong, that gets you the velocity, and it's a longer finger, the finger that stays longer in the ball, I would just move it kind of off, let this finger that's a little weaker touch the ball last, and make sure that it goes kind of to my pinky.
Mm-hmm.
So it will lose a little bit of rotation, but it will lose speed, and it will create a lot more movement than normal, and it will die down.
Which one did you throw Barry Bonds?
I threw all kinds of Barry Bonds, but the slower one was the better to Barry Bonds.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah, because he turned on my fastball and hit it like 400 feet. Straight to
But see, the object of it as a hitter, to keep you from getting to all that, when you throw a fastball, we're supposed to hit it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't get to all that.
Yeah.
Right, Dust?
Once you get to the changeup, it's good night, especially with that man down on the end.
What happened to the guys that left that finger up? I mean, sometimes you can see that finger.
Well,
not on the changeup you threw.
Well, that's got to be a little too late.
We're back with more in a minute on the MLB on TBS pregame show. Joe Maddon's Cubbies looking to get even right here on TBS.
Chrysler continues to break new ground in fuel efficiency, quality, and innovation, which is impressive. But doing it for 90 years is a reason to celebrate. And there's even more to celebrate with 0% APR for 72 months at the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration event. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus up to $1,500 total bonus cash on 2015 Chrysler vehicles.
If you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Still haven't tried FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues? Over 1 million fans have already won money. Choose a league. They start at $1. Pick your team. Done. Winners get paid the next day and there's no season-long commitment. FanDuel pays out $75 million a week. Get off the sidelines and get some. Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Love it or your money back, guaranteed. Go to FanDuel.com, enter promo code PUNTER. That's PUNTER.
You know, throughout your career, you only get a certain amount of opportunities, and you got to take advantage of those.
What we've seen even tonight, I think it's a combination of confidence and understanding his stuff and what he can do with it.
They're starting to believe there's something magic going on here in Houston.
They've got as good a chance as anyone.
They feel pretty good about where they're at.
Right at Altuve, back in, it's down.
This is what's fun about baseball right here, especially in the postseason.
Major League Baseball playoffs is the cream of the crop.
The MLB postseason pregame show on TBS is brought to you by Chrysler.
Do not forget, coming up after Cards and Cubs Game 2, it's Thor, Noah Syndergaard, against one of the best in baseball this season, Cy Young candidate Zach Greinke and the Dodgers, looking to get even before they go back to Citi Field. We'll have all of the coverage. And speaking of Chavez Ravine, look at what we have here, Dusty Baker. Your Silver Slugger and Gold Glove well represented out there in La La Land.
Where you guys come up?
You was gold.
You was gold. Yeah, I was gold too.
I didn't know you was gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And silver.
Oh yeah.
And silver.
Thank you.
You guys.
There you go. Come on now. We got to give you that love. Everybody knows the manager. How about the player? All right, let's go on the final thoughts here. Who wins Game 2, Pedro? Cards and Cubs.
Cards and Cubs. I'm expecting the Cubs to win this game because if not, it's over. And Chicago's been waiting for too long.
Chef.
Well, I got to go with the Cardinals on this one. I just think Garcia going to pitch a great game today, and hopefully, Rizzo come out of it.
Well, hey man, I've seen. Much as I'd like to say the Cubs going to win, I've just seen this Garcia, beat my teams too many times.
Cubs have lost the last 8 series where they've lost Game 1. Maybe it'll be different this time. Out to St. Louis, B.A. Eck and Joe. Enjoy the game.
Against Garcia.
God gave us free will. And that means, unfortunately, bad people do bad things.
I realized my whole life was a lie.
You betrayed me.
They think he's planning something big.
What's going on with you?
We need to get in there.
Our window is closing.
Brisket is a cut of beef that's been smoked for at least 13 hours. Bacon is a present pigs give you when you're good. Flatbread is a shape of bread. Arby's, we have the meats.
Head & Shoulders with Old Spice, America's #1 male dandruff brand, keeping you 100% flake-free, guaranteed, while smelling 100% handsome. Take a whiff. Head & Shoulders with Old Spice.
True luxury is not just a heated leather seat or refined chrome accents. It's the places it will take you. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most luxurious vehicle in its class. Get 0% APR financing on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee for well-qualified buyers, plus $500 Jeep Celebration bonus cash. The most awarded, rewarding SUV ever.
Now we're ready to play ball. Game 2. Long run, Schwarber, and he runs it down. And he got it. Tommy Pham will watch this one fly away. Steven Piscotty sends one way back in left field. And there she goes. Wow, what a start. It is game day in St. Louis. Once again, a picture-perfect late Saturday afternoon at Busch Stadium. Our 2015 National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. It's Game 2 this afternoon, the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. And hi, everybody, we welcome you from Busch Stadium. Great to have you with us here on this late afternoon. I'm Brian Anderson, along with the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley and Joe Simpson. Well, the Cardinals won yesterday. It was a 4-0 final. They played a near flawless ball game in yesterday's victory. John Lackey was the headliner, but Joe, the St. Louis Cardinals got some production from some unexpected sources.
Yeah, yesterday before the game, BA, we were talking about all the contributions of the Cubs rookies. Well, last night it was the Cardinals rookies who stole the show, and it started early. First inning double from Stephen Piscotty, and he scored the first run of the game. Bottom of the 8th, Tommy Pham, his first at-bat in the postseason in his career. He goes deep, and then it was Piscotty again, 2 batters later, who goes deep for a 2-run homer to give them a much-needed breather there in the bottom of the 8th to make the advantage 4-0. Great starting pitching last night, Eck. That's going to be a tough act to follow tonight.
I tell you, tonight you're probably going to see a lot of change-ups, especially with the shadows early on. And for the Cardinals, Jaime Garcia, finally healthy. You talk about a guy with a great swing and miss changeup, great sinker baller, and a lot of experience in the postseason. You see there his 7th start coming up. And over on the other side with the Cubs, a guy with not much experience at all. His first postseason start, he's been hot down the stretch for the Cubs, and they're looking for big things for him. To me, this could be a bullpen game for the Cubs, but this is a major swing game as far as the Cubs win. If they could pull this off, they got Arrieta waiting in the wings.
Yep, and that would be Game 3, and that would be at Wrigley Field on Monday. It's a big one. These longtime rivals matching up here for Game 2. We'll check in with Matt Weiner next, and then we'll play ball from St. Louis.
It's here, the most advanced iPhone yet. Get the new iPhone 6S at T-Mobile, the network that's doubled its LTE coverage in the past year. Our new extended range LTE signal now reaches twice as far as before and is 4 times better in buildings. Want more? Get the lowest price on iPhone 6S with trade-in. 0 upfront and just $5 a month with Jump on Demand. Get it now at T-Mobile.
My husband got the organist at Fenway to play my favorite song.
During the 7th inning stretch, my mother told me that I was going to be a big sister.
This is the dirt from the old Yankee Stadium. It was at my wedding and the birth of both my sons.
I had my first kiss ever on the kiss cam.
My lucky charm.
My dad came back with 10 baseball helmets.
Games after my bedtime. My father, he had this smile on his face that was incredible.
Bank of America asks, what's your favorite baseball memory? Share it all season long using hashtag MLBMemoryBank.
Chrysler continues to break new ground in fuel efficiency, quality, and innovation, which is impressive. But doing it for 90 years is a reason to celebrate. And there's even more to celebrate with 0% APR for 72 months at the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration event. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus up to $1,500 total bonus cash on 2015 Chrysler vehicles.
If you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
This 2015 NLDS telecast on TBS is brought to you by T-Mobile. Share your passion for a chance to win World Series tickets from T-Mobile. Hashtag the Big 7. By DraftKings. Play free 1-week fantasy football for your shot at millions of dollars at DraftKings.com. By DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. And by National Car Rental. Go national. Go like a pro.
Game 2 of the NLDS between the Cardinals and the Cubs is set to begin here in St. Louis. I'm Matt Weiner. Cardinals starter Jaime Garcia's history of injury has made him a tantalizing yet frustrating player at times here, and he missed nearly the first 2 months of this season after undergoing thoracic outlet surgery, the latest in a series of procedures that dates back to Tommy John surgery in 2008. But his lack of durability may prove to be an advantage here today. There are just 6 combined hits against Garcia among the Cubs hitters in the lineup here today. Advantage pitcher. Cards first baseman Brandon Moss, who likewise has never faced Kyle Hendricks, told me, you can watch all the video you want, but there's nothing like seeing the stuff and the delivery of a pitcher in person. Brian?
All right, Matt, thanks a lot. That has been a big topic here today with the Cubs and the Cardinals, for that matter. The stuff of Jaime Garcia as he hits the field. The Cardinals right behind him. And we are just about ready for Game 2 of this NLDS. And the Mexican-born left-hander ready to match up against this batting order turned in by Joe Madden. It is brought to you by T-Mobile, and we highlight Jorge Soler, the 23-year-old Cuban-born rookie in his first postseason start. Did get a pinch hit appearance last night. Bryant, Rizzo, and Castro are hitless thus far in 2 postseason games, right in the heart of that Chicago batting order. Shutout last night, 4-0. That was John Lackey last night doing most of that work. And Eck, today it's going to be Jaime Garcia. You talked about his changeup. You talked about maybe this being a bullpen game, but if Garcia's right, he is a guy that can take you deep into a ball game.
You see right there, he finally made 20 starts. He hasn't done that since 2011, and when he's on, I mean, he has got a great sinker moving all over the place. Got a swing and miss changeup. This guy, they've been waiting for him, and he's been clutch for them since the middle of August. So this guy, didn't expect to see him 20 starts this year, but you're going to look for a lot of ground balls from Jaime.
Completely rebuilt left arm, his pitching arm, elbow surgery, shoulder surgery. Joe, how about the Cardinals defensively? Any changes here tonight?
Well, first of all, Yadier Molina's left thumb will be severely tested today with all those sinkers and changeups from Jaime Garcia. There is one notable change, and that's at first base, where Brandon Moss will start this afternoon. We saw him come in defensively last night. That means that Stephen Piscotty is going to move out to right field. No Randall Grichuk tonight in the lineup. Holiday and Hayward in left and center, respectively. Good defense for St. Louis.
Well, Piscotty was one of the headliners from last night. Had a couple of hits. He scored the first run after he doubled in the first inning, and then he hit that put-away 2-run home run as the Cardinals put 3 on the board in the 8th inning. Sellout crowd here in St. Louis as usual. And they are ready to roar here as we get Game 2 underway from Busch Stadium. Dexter Fowler, the switch hitter, will lead off against the left-hander Jaime Garcia. And I agree with you, Eck. This is a major swing game. It always is in a best-of-5 series, but especially with Jake Arrieta looming for the Cubs in Game 3 at Wrigley on Monday. And game on from St. Louis. Garcia deals Fowler down the line, foul, trying to jump in quick.
Not a lot of history off of Garcia. They haven't faced him in about 3 years, so you look up and down the lineup, not much history, nothing to go on. You got shadows and a nasty sinker all over the place.
Now, Dexter Fowler is a guy who has faced Garcia, one of the few. He's 0 for 9, and that's going to make him 0 for 10 career. And the first out of the ball game. That's how the evening begins for Garcia on a 6-3 putout, retiring Fowler. And now we'll get our first look at Jorge Soler in the starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs.
I think we're going to see a lot of ground balls tonight, fellas. Both these guys are sinker ballers. They have a high percentage of their outs recorded by ground ball outs, so both infields will be tested.
Garcia, 29 years of age, born and raised mostly in Mexico. He did play his high school ball in Texas and was part of that great 05 draft. There are MVPs and all-stars all throughout that 2005 draft. 22nd rounder that year, and a looping curveball to Soler misses.
You're not going to see too many curveballs here from Garcia, but so clutch for him to have 20 starts this year. It goes without saying, with Wainwright missing at the start of the season, they needed him.
And our Chevrolet pitch tracks. Let's look at the stuff of Jaime Garcia.
Changeups, the big pitch for him. And you mentioned, Eck, in the open that changeups are going to be on display here in this game because Kyle Hendricks, the Cubs starter, he lives and dies with his changeup. Garcia certainly has one of the great swing and miss changeups in baseball this season.
And neither guy overpowering. Both of them top out at about 90 or 91.
And the 3-1, Soler takes a called strike. Home plate umpire here tonight is Bill Welke. Bill Cuzzy was certainly in the headlines a little bit from last night. Everybody kept their cool. There wasn't too many discussions, not much said after the game. And Soler fouls that one back. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Perfect example of the way the ball moves. That 3-1 pitch came back over the middle of the plate. I mean, it was hard to even catch. That called for a strike. I mean, this guy just tries to throw it down the middle and it goes every which way.
Good note there on the changeup percentage. And that's a base hit. Soler down the left field line, and that's going to get to the wall. Soler on his way to second with a double in his first postseason start. And wow, you can hear Cubs fans making a little noise at Busch Stadium today.
Looks to me like a 3-2 breaking ball. Look at that thing, a looping breaking ball right down the middle. You don't see much of those. Why he threw it, I'll never know, but double down the left field line. Easy double for Soler.
Well, this is one of the things about Soler's game that's very impressive. Long legs, big strider. He can run, he can throw, he can hit with power. Good looking player.
Now Madden going with the right-handed bat against the lefty. Soler had a pinch hit appearance last night, drew a walk. And now a double in his first at bat. And that'll set it up for Chris Bryant. I mentioned Bryant, Rizzo, Castro hitless in the postseason in the 2 games thus far. They are 0 for 21 combined with 6 strikeouts. And it has been 8 games going back into the regular season since Chris Bryant had a run batted in. It looked like a sure lock that he'd drive in 100 this year. He's going to be the rookie of the year in the National League. But the Cubs desperately need Bryant and Rizzo to get going at the plate.
There's that changeup. I take that breaking ball and throw it in your pocket.
Yeah.
I would throw that.
Perfectly placed too.
It was very loud here at Busch Stadium last night. It's interesting how quiet it is here to start this game. They were loud coming on the air. They were ready and hyped for this game, but a little anxiety here, I think, to get this one started. Maybe it's the slightly early start. Cardinal fans very savvy. They know who's looming next for the Chicago Cubs in Game 3. And so you win this one if you're St. Louis, and you're in a great spot to advance to yet another League Championship Series as Bryant cuts and misses. Now it's 2-2.
Well, you see the movement on that fastball? I mean, I think it's just a fastball that happened to cut down and in. That's not a cutter. That's just a fastball with life.
And he sometimes doesn't even know what it's going to do when he lets it go.
Here's a 2-2, and Bryant fouls it back. Bryant, one of the 3 regular rookies that have contributed this year. Now you add Soler to the mix. Kyle Schwarber is out of the lineup today. Joe Madden said he didn't even consider Schwarber, who's hot, but the lefty-lefty matchup had him thinking Soler was the best option. So still those 3 rookies in the starting lineup with Addison Russell and Soler and Bryant. And a called strike 3. Garcia punches out Bryant for the second out.
Well, he didn't put the curveball in his back pocket. He brought it back out again. Bryant had a pitch to hit the pitch before this and just froze him with a breaking ball, pretty much middle. He was thinking hard stuff and just absolutely froze him.
And Bryant's postseason struggles continue. Hoping there's time to get him cranked up again. He's a streaky hitter. And so now Garcia will match up against a left-handed hitter. And Anthony Rizzo, one of the 2 lefties that are in the lineup for the Cubs today. Rizzo actually hits lefties very well. And Rizzo putting together a near MVP season in 2015, be it not for the year that Bryce Harper had with the Washington Nationals.
These shadows could be playing a factor here early in the ball game. You got bright sunshine on the batter's eye, as the guys in the studio were talking about. That will probably play to the advantage of these change-up pitchers.
2 outs, runner at second. Rizzo takes a ball. 1-1 the count. Rizzo 0 for 3 yesterday. 31 homers, 101 runs batted in this year. He finished third in the National League in RBIs. Did big damage against left-handed pitching this season. They had a good cut at that one.
Got away with a hanging breaking ball right there. That was a pitch that Rizzo should have crushed. Bryant had a pitch to hit, and Rizzo just had a pitch to hit. I don't think you could see that well.
Yeah, I'm having to think that on Bryant's, he just lost it because it kind of came out of his hand high, and maybe lost it in that batter's eye because he couldn't pull the trigger. Choked up on the bat.
And Rizzo, a foul tip right into the mitt of Molina. A strikeout to end the inning. Back-to-back Ks for Garcia to start his day.
Toby Keith is bringing the music home.
I haven't played in over 20 years.
To the neighborhood that started it all.
For more in Norman, Oklahoma, Toby Keith.
Neighborhood Sessions featuring Toby Keith. Friday at 10 on TBS. Created by State Farm.
Not to disparage whoever invented the cow, but why doesn't it come smoked and covered in jalapenos? Does Arby's have to do everything around here? Arby's, we have the meats.
You know, Viagra helps guys with erectile dysfunction get and keep an erection. Talk to your doctor about Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
All right, listen up. We all know that DirecTV is better at this whole TV thing. So to beat them, we're going to get bigger. We're going to merge with Cable World.
Cable World? I can't stand those guys. They're totally incompetent.
That company stinks, and I mean they smell. I used to work there. I had to breathe through my mouth the whole time.
They're here.
This is going to be fun, firing everyone.
Get rid of cable and switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
We are underway. Game 2 of the NLDS Cubs Cardinals, and now the T-Mobile batting order for Mike Matheny. And the Cardinals will stick with Carpenter at the top, but Stephen Piscotty yesterday, one of 5 Cardinal rookies to homer in his postseason debut, and it was a put-away punch last night. 2-run home run in the 8th inning. Piscotty will be in right field to start this game. All right, Eck, how about 25-year-old Kyle Hendricks in his first postseason game?
He's coming off his first full season in the big leagues. You talk about a guy who doesn't throw all that hard, but great changeup, great command, a lot of ground balls. Smart pitcher, Dartmouth grad. We'll see.
Facing Matt Carpenter. Got a little bit of history against the Cardinals, does Hendricks. This will be his 5th career start against St. Louis, 4th of 2015. And a couple of guys have gone deep against him, including Matt Carpenter, who had a home run off of Hendricks in May. And it was a big home run season for Matt Carpenter this year. 28 homers, a career best.
When he's on, you just saw the pitch that makes him tough. 79-mile-an-hour changeup dropped off the table.
And went back to it. He misses low. Carpenter is the guy who gets it going for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's an excellent leadoff hitter, Joe, but he brought the power game to his game this year as well. Slugging percentage up, home runs are up.
We talked with Mike Matheny before the ballgame about several of their hitters who he believes will become more.
And that ball's deep into center field. Fowler, who plays shallow, on his way back, and this ball is gone. Matt Carpenter out of the gates. Solo home run to start it for St. Louis.
What a statement that is, right from Jump Street. Tries to slip a fastball by him. A mediocre piece of cheese is what this is. Huh? Right down Broadway. 87 miles an hour. You see Kyle Hendricks just drop his head. Carpenter crushed this ball.
Matt Carpenter said yesterday it was about getting into good pitch counts where he could go for it and expecting pitches in those counts. I'd say he guessed right and got one he could handle.
What a start for the Cardinals. Carpenter does that a lot. 22 of his 28 homers this year came out of that leadoff spot. And he gives the Cardinals a huge lift early. And now St. Louis already with 3 home runs in this series. 2 in the 8th inning last night. And now a leadoff home run for Matt Carpenter here in the first inning today as Piscotty, a wave and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. Good comeback for Hendricks.
But back to what Matheny was saying today was about their hitters, that as they are progressing through their minor leagues, they start teaching them, once they figure out how to make consistent contact, about working counts and getting counts in their favor where they can then go for it and try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And he mentioned Piscotty as one of those guys. Carpenter certainly picked that up from last year to this. Only 8 homers for Carpenter last year.
And now Carpenter is 7 for 11 in his career against Hendricks as Matt Holliday takes a strike. So I didn't think it would come up this early, but you guys like to frequent the pubs, right? So McNally's is a bar on the south side of Chicago. So they're giving away free beer for every St. Louis home run.
Well, they're oiling right now, right?
Obviously, they're against the Cubs, and they never imagined they'd be giving up on 3 occasions. As Holliday sends that one high in the air to left field. And that's going to stay in as Jackson has room to make the play. Holliday just missed that one. 2 outs in the inning.
Talking to Matt before the game, too, talking about this pitcher, Hendricks, saying he's got to keep the ball on the ground. You start seeing fly balls, that is trouble.
Well, Hendricks was 8-7 on the year. He had a low number of decisions, not because he didn't start much, but because he had 17 no decisions this summer, and those were Cub records.
Here's Jason Hayward. Hayward back in that cleanup spot for St. Louis.
He's starting this game because he was hot in the last couple of starts. I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, 2 straight starts of 6 innings and a shutout ball in each.
And Hendricks was racking up strikeouts as well. It looked like a dead heat just 2 weeks ago on who that 3rd starter was going to be if they advance into the division series. Jason Hamill or Kyle Hendricks. You could even throw Wood in that mix as well. Wood remains in the bullpen. Hamill's going to get game 4 unless they need him out of the bullpen here tonight. Joe Madden said he wouldn't hesitate if he needs to make this a bullpen game. But he is very hopeful that Hendricks is going to be able to pitch deep into this one. If he can give him 6 innings, which I think for Hendricks would be considered deep into a postseason game, Madden and the Cubs would be ecstatic. 2-2 the count on Hayward. Count remains at 2-2.
It's funny how his changeup, he punched out Piscotty. It was a changeup. It looked like a slider. He can make, like you said, he can make it go both ways.
Yeah, he can cut it.
Looked like Montero asked for the timeout. the Cub catcher. And the 2-2 pitch. And that one is inside to Hayward. Full count to Jason Hayward, who will be a free agent at season's end and a very sought after free agent. Traded from the Braves to the Cardinals this offseason. And Hayward, a shot off the knee of Rizzo to Castro. Hendricks is there for him. And that will end the inning. It goes 3-4-1. And it is the #1 hitter in the Cardinal lineup that starts it with a bang. Home run, Matt Carpenter.
Hey, Dad, who is that man?
He's our broker. He helps look after all our money.
Do you pay him?
Of course.
How much?
I don't know exactly.
What if you're not happy? Does he have to pay you back?
Nope.
Why not?
It doesn't work that way.
Why not?
Are you asking enough questions about the way your wealth is managed? Wealth management at Charles Schwab.
Every villain knows a getaway car requires abundant power, impeccable style, and of course, the cover of darkness. But what if it's a different kind of getaway you're after? The F-Type convertible and the F-Type coupe from Jaguar. Oh, it's good to be bad.
Jaguar has been ranked highest in customer satisfaction with dealer service among luxury brands by J.D. Power.
So how did you get this gold PS4?
So last week I ran into this guy, Dimitri Two Hands. He used to run with the mob. Anyway, his goons boosted some bullion from the Kemerov vault. But the bars are marked, so they had to melt them down. Now it's in a cookhouse. You know the right guys and have the dinero. People are dipping all sorts of stuff in it. That's how.
Really? Because I heard that you can only win it at Taco Bell.
Grab a Quesarito or Volcano Quesarito Big Box for a chance to win a limited edition gold PS4 bundle. There's a winner every 10 minutes.
This is the fantasy football season that could change it all. DraftKings.com is the one-week fantasy football destination. Compete whenever you want with a new season every week. Try it free. Just pick your sport, pick your players, and pick up another win. Get free entry with promo code TURF in our championship event this Sunday. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time. Get to DraftKings.com.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes now.
Compare new and used cars and save your search along the way. We'll find your perfect car at your perfect price. Life happens one car search at a time. Auto Trader.
A Matt Carpenter home run has the Cardinals up 1-0 as we head to the second inning. And let's take a look at tonight's forecaster presented by FanDuel. And we're looking at Jaime Garcia's ground ball percentage in his career. So it's 57.1. That's very good. And it's been even better this year, Joe.
Yeah, not as good as this year. It was 62%, which is extremely high.
Garcia will face Starlin Castro to start the inning. And strike one to Castro. So Bryant and Rizzo with back-to-back Ks in the first inning with a runner at second base. So Lair had doubled for the Cubs. And then Bryant and Rizzo go down, and the Cubs leave another man in scoring position. And now Castro, and he bangs one through for a base hit. Starlin Castro with his first hit of the postseason. And the Cubs have a man on to start the second inning.
Guys, it's no secret that the Cubs need Bryant, Rizzo, and Castro in the middle of their order to do some damage in this series. Not just this series, but if they advance, they've got to have those three guys clicking. We can talk about the rookies and the contributions they make outside of Bryant, like Schwarber and Addison Russell, but those three guys in the middle have got to start picking it up.
And a good start for Castro this afternoon with a single up the middle. And now here is Austin Jackson with the left-hander on the mound, and a left-hander that most of these Cubs have not faced. Madden goes with one of his bench players, Austin Jackson, who the Cubs acquired from the Mariners. He was a Yankee, and then he was a Detroit Tiger. That big trade that involved Curtis Granderson, and has made his way to the north side of Chicago.
Went to Seattle late last year. They added him. They almost won it last year, Seattle. Saw what happened to Seattle this year. Everybody picked him. They went nowhere.
A lot of experience in the postseason for Jackson, too. You saw 36 games.
And Jackson is swinging a foul. This is the 4th postseason for Jackson. Those various clubs. He made 12 starts for the Cubs after coming to them at the beginning of September. It was a late August deal. Got to be on a major league roster by September 1st to be eligible for the postseason, and the Cubs were able to get that done with the Mariners. And there's a ground ball in the hole. Peralta, backhand stop, and a throw that's wide and into the dugout. So Wong lost the handle, and Jackson will be awarded second base. Very strange looking pivot.
I don't know if he lost the grip on the baseball or what happened there, Brian, but one of the guys that's really beaten himself up here is Yadi Molina, who was a spectator. That's not like him, and he was hitting his chest protector like that's my fault for that ball getting by and into the camera well. That just came out of his hand.
I thought they were going to have a hard time turning that double play. You see Castro on Wong right there, but he had a chance to throw that ball. He wasn't taken out.
No.
So the first blemish for the St. Louis Cardinals, it's an error by Wong, who's a dynamic second baseman, can make highlight reel plays, but does have some errors this year. That puts a runner at second base with one away for Montero, and a little half swing. He goes, and it's 0-1 on the Cubs catcher.
17 errors in the regular season for Wong.
He is just the opposite of Johnny Peralta. Peralta, very little range, but steady, makes all the routine plays. Wong has great range, can really go get him, but can be accident prone at times.
That was basically just a misfire, right? I thought that when I first looked at it, like the runner, he hit the runner because it was like a changeup coming off of his hand.
Just came out sideways.
Second consecutive inning, the Cubs have a runner at second, and Montero a pitch in the dirt. Good block back there by Molina. Yadier Molina is not 100% by any stretch. The Cardinals absolutely will not put a percentage on it, but you can just look with your own eyes and tell he's not the same kind of player. He is still a major presence, but he's dealing with a thumb injury, ligament damage in the left thumb, the catching thumb. Runner takes off. Jackson, Molina's throw to third base is late, and that one belongs to Garcia. Jackson got a running start and a big stolen base early. He's there with just one out.
That got the Cubs players off their bench in the dugout too. They were all standing and cheering.
That's definitely on Garcia. Just gave him one look, and Jackson had him timed. No chance for Molina. Easy into third.
So a key early stolen base, and now the Cardinals will bring their infield in. Former Diamondback Montero in his first year with the Cubs. Chance to drive in a run, and that misses down and away. And you can see Molina didn't catch that one well either.
Brian, this is a situation that really haunted the Cubs all year long, and that's getting that runner in from third with less than 2 outs. They were last in the major leagues in this situation, getting that guy in at only 40% of the time.
It's hard to figure, too, a team that scores as many runs. They were one of the highest run scoring teams post All-Star break. Montero works a walk. First and third in the second. The Cubs putting up a threat early. Well, it's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to make a strong decision, like choosing a Chevy Silverado. Chevrolet is proud to be the official vehicle of Major League Baseball.
Here's where the pitcher batting eighth kind of sneaks up on you. They've got him batting eighth, Russell ninth. So it kind of limits you on what you might be able to do as a manager.
Kind of backfires on you right here.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle Hendricks up there to bunt. Interesting note here on Hendricks. You might have seen it already, but he is the first pitcher to bat eighth in a postseason. The only other pitcher to hit higher than ninth in a postseason is Babe Ruth. Game 4 of the 1918 World Series, by the way, against the Cubs. He was hitting 6th that year for Boston. As Hendricks gets a bunt down, it's a safety squeeze. Jackson will score, and Garcia throws it away. Both runners will advance. The Cubs tie it, and a defensive breakdown inning here in the second for St. Louis.
I mean, you know he's going to bunt. I mean, to me, you should be ready for anything right there. But they didn't give it away.
And Garcia never looked home. He picked the ball up and immediately was ready to throw to first, but never looked home.
It's almost like somebody yelled at him or something, because he looked to first and then went back to looking at home. Like, what are you doing? And then off balance, flat-footed, threw it away.
It looked like Molina was setting himself up ready to take the throw, though. Great speed, great excitement created by Austin Jackson already here.
Derek Lilliquist, the Cardinal pitching coach, a quick visit just to settle things down as the Cardinals kick it around here in the second inning. That will be officially scored as a sacrifice bunt for Hendricks. Give him an RBI and an E1 on Garcia. Jackson was the real instigator there, stealing third base and then scoring on the safety squeeze.
Like we said, what a great idea to back your pitcher 8th. First and third situation.
Jackson didn't give it up. He had no lead at third base.
Second and third now. Still just one out. Here is Addison Russell, and he takes a strike from Garcia. It's one of Joe Madden's favorite plays. He's been using it a long, long time. First and third, one out, that bunt. Worst case scenario, if you get it down, it advances. He does it again, Russell, and this is going to bring another run in and out at first. It's a good play by Garcia. He was the only one that had a shot, but a bunt that scores a run on another safety squeeze. And Joe Madden, desperate for runs on the board, plays a little small ball here at Busch Stadium.
You know what I love about it is the fact that he did it with the catcher at third base, a guy who doesn't run well in Montero. But it was a safety squeeze, like you said about Jackson. Heck, he wasn't running until he saw the ball down.
Where do you ever see back-to-back safety squeezes? And you're talking in Montero, and you see Garcia. It's just a matter of, looked like he was going to throw that one away too. It's like he's shocked out there that they're bunting.
It is the second out. Now a runner at third for the top of the order, and Dexter Fowler. Boy, what an inning for the Cubs, and what a defensive breakdown inning for St. Louis. It all started with that pivot at second base by Wong. And Fowler takes one inside. Dexter almost had a game-changing moment yesterday. He hit a long fly ball out to right that would have given the Cubs a 2-1 lead had it been hit maybe another half an inch onto the barrel of the bat. It ended up about a foot short. Chopper, tough play. Peralta coming in. Bare hand, no play. Another run is in. And the ball has not left the infield in the second inning, and 3 runs have scored. The Cubs lead by 2 now.
I'm with you, Brian. That stolen base at third by Jackson kind of set the tone for this whole inning. Needless to say, the errors have played a huge part, but the Cubs have basically sent a message with that stolen base saying, we're not just going to sit back and wait for a home run.
Do or die play there. He never would have gotten Fowler anyway, but he gets a ground ball, and a ball about chest-high fastball to begin with. That was like incredible that he hit a ground ball to begin with. But like you said, Brian, nothing hit hard this inning.
Inning started with a Castro single to center field, but all these run-producing hits and bunts, 3 of them, all in the confines of the infield. As Soler, who doubled his last time up. Boy, this is a great bounce back for Chicago after Matt Carpenter homered in the bottom of the first inning to lead off. The Cubs answer quickly.
He's a little out of sorts there, Garcia. Ball up. I would be too with all that just took place.
Soler looks very cool and calm. That first hit can do that to you sometimes. He's had 2 plate appearances in the postseason and a walk and a double. Soler missed a lot of time this year, about 2 months altogether. Had a bad ankle injury that knocked him out for about a month, and then he had an oblique injury after he came back, and that shut him down for about a month as well. And the Cubs were very concerned that he was not going to have enough at-bats and enough playing time to make the postseason roster, but he did make it, and they're glad they put him on that roster now.
I know this. He better think twice before throwing Soler that curveball again, the one he raked into the left field corner his first time up.
Everything's up. All this stuff, everything, all the fastballs are up. This at bat. Fastball to Fowler was up.
Fowler at first with 2 away. 3 runs are in for the Cubbies. And a big swing and a miss.
That ball started right down the middle and just disappeared. I don't know how Molina catches it.
Yeah, you do.
But you see how Molina, he'll set up real late. He won't give him a target. He waits till the last second to stick his glove up.
See what he has in mind for him. Yep, and he steps off.
It's like he's just trying to stab it. You see where his glove is? He doesn't give you a target.
And a check on Fowler at first. Fowler's a base stealer, but against Molina, he's like the shutdown cornerback in the NFL. You don't run much on him, but he's not the same Molina right now. It'll be interesting to see if the Cubs, if they get a lead like they have now, if they'll try to push it a little bit. And there he goes. And a swing and a bouncer foul from Soler.
Molina reminds me of a guy catching a knuckleballer.
Right, I told you it's late.
Yeah, he's just waiting to see where the pitch is going and then
stab it.
Tries to put his glove in front of it.
Mike Matheny talked to us about the damage that Garcia can do to a catcher. That little bit of run he has that moves into a right-handed batter. That is tough on a catcher's thumb, and that's the injured thumb for Molina. High fly ball into center field. Hayward, long way to go, and Hayward's looking up, and that one is gone. A home run. Jorge Soler. Welcome to the postseason, senor. 5-1 Chicago.
Joe, he threw that breaking ball again. Left it up out over the plate. Doubled the first time up. This is damage right here. Ball carrying today. I don't know if that ball goes out at night, although I think he crushed it. Look at that hanging breaking ball.
Yeah.
What an inning for the Cubs. Now Bryant is up and a swing and a foul.
Cubs show their sick power they have from those young kids. I've heard nothing but crazy things about Soler, and I finally see him hit the ball the other way with authority.
Yeah, he's extremely strong, outstanding talent.
And now Bryant sharply on the ground to Peralta, and that will retire the side. What an inning. 2 safety squeezes for the small ball, and then the big bomb by Soler. 5-1 Cubs.
Now with no monthly payments until 2016, bring home the go-kart handling of the Mini Hardtop. Fit more friends with the Hardtop 4-door. Or the bigger Mini Countryman with available all-wheel drive. Bring home your Mini today at the 0 for 15 Mini Sales Event with 0 hassles and 0 holdups. It's all thrills and no monthly payments until 2016.
Everyone knows FOMO, but not everyone knows FOMOD. Fear of missing out on the home of your dreams. Get the real-time accurate Realtor.com app and no mo FOMOD. Realtor.com, real estate in real time.
Here's something to shout from the mountaintop. Cricket's plans start at $35 a month after $5 auto-pay credit, with more 4G LTE coverage nationwide than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Some moments are worth the journey. We'll help get the most out of every mile. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
What's it like to be the boss of you?
Pretty great. How about a 10% raise?
How about 20?
How about done?
That's the kind of control I like. And that's what they give me at National Car Rental. I can choose any car in the aisle I want without having to ask anyone. Who better to be the boss of you than me? I mean, you. Us.
Go National. Go like a pro.
The family unit that you see out here and people enjoying each other, where else can you bring a set of antlers into a stadium? It's just Kansas City.
Kane drives it high and deep, and this series is tied up at 1 game apiece.
We are unique. We're different. I mean, there's guys complaining they can't take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich into their stadium, but I can take a rack into mine. Moose!
5 unearned runs for the Cubs. They lead at 5-1. Our aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Busch Stadium version 3, downtown St. Louis. And that highway that is next to the ballpark is 55. And that's the road to Chicago, and we'll all be on that highway after the game tonight, setting up for game 3 at Wrigley Field on Monday. Look forward to that one. Kyle Hendricks now has a 4-run lead. Boy, this one turned quickly after the Carpenter homer in the first. The Cardinals commit 2 costly errors in that second inning, and the Cubs do big damage, scoring 5 runs. Not one of those runs was an earned run in that inning.
Well, that was a good pitch he didn't get.
Would have got it last night.
Yeah. Chevy pitch arsenal for Hendricks there as Peralta. And oh, what a play. Russell to his feet. Throw to first in time. My goodness. Addison Russell showing some serious range for out number 1.
Yeah, that wasn't a 25 hopper that he made a diving stop on. Breaking ball. He got that on the first hop. Great stab. Got a little help on the other end from Rizzo, who can pick it over there at first base. Outstanding play.
Doesn't get any better than that. That is a big league play. Both ends.
Yeah, Hendricks fired up, knowing that is a big time play early in this one. Here's Moss now. This is the one change Joe talked about in the lineup. Brandon Moss gets the start today. Yesterday, Matheny had Piscotty playing first base. And today it is Moss with Piscotty out in right field. So no Grichuk today.
Well, Moss finished the season swinging the bat pretty well, Brian. That was one of the reasons he made the change. He wanted to see if he could carry that into this postseason. One of their hotter hitters.
And he was 4 for his last 7. 4 hits in his last 7 at-bats in those 3 October games. Got a couple of doubles as well and 2 walks. He's been packed up for a while to get this start, and Hendricks gets the strikeout. His second punch out, 2 up and 2 down in this second inning.
That's a swing and miss changeup. You see it once again. Moss all or nothing.
I know you're a believer in this shutdown inning type mentality too.
That's why that play at shortstop, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to go kiss him over there for that. You kidding me? Bullet, you get an out.
Yadier Molina now with 2 away. And Molina had been taking a lot. Lance Lynn started warming up just at the end of that last inning with Garcia on the mound. He has continued to throw while the Cardinals are at the plate. Might give you an idea that he's coming in for the 3rd inning. We'll see. Garcia with his head down, dejected on that bench. And one of the errors was his error that really set up the inning as Molina into right field. Back on it, Soler with the glasses on, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. And that shutdown inning you're talking about, Eck. Cubs lead at 5-1. We go to the 3rd.
The new 2016 Ram Limited. You don't have to be a king to be treated like one.
This is perfect, celebrating our anniversary with a strawberry shortcake shake.
Yeah, I got the strawberry shortcake cone. Wait, what anniversary?
Of coming here yesterday?
Our one-day anniversary.
You totally forgot.
No,
oh
no, I didn't forget.
Gosh, so you didn't get me anything.
I did. No, I remembered, and I got you this.
Oh, man, what is it?
Go ahead, open it up.
Is it a watch?
No, it's not a watch.
Oh, man, you know I needed a watch.
Have your cake and drink it too. New ice cream cake, shakes, and cones. And don't forget half-price slushes every day at happy hour. This is how you Sonic. It's here, the most advanced iPhone yet. Get the new iPhone 6S at T-Mobile, the network that's doubled its LTE coverage in the past year. Our new extended range LTE signal now reaches twice as far as before and is 4 times better in buildings. Want more? Get the lowest price on iPhone 6S with trade-in. 0 upfront and just $5 a month with Jump on Demand. Get it now at T-Mobile.
Now we're talking. Hey, George is coming.
Nice.
I can get more stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
That one's way better.
Hello. All right, sounds good. See you soon. Guys, Randy's coming.
Perfect.
We're gonna need more chairs.
And more food.
Low prices every day on everything you need so you can turn your game day party of 3 into a great party for more. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
When the weather starts turning cooler and the air is nice and crisp, I know that fall has finally arrived. And with it, all the flavors of the season. Fall is all about bringing people together around delicious food. And each recipe brings as much enjoyment as the company.
Low prices on everything you need to make every meal more memorable. Walmart.
A 5-run second inning for the Cubs. Started really on this box double play throw by Colton Wong. That put Austin Jackson at second base. He promptly stole third, and then the first of 2 squeezes. Now watch this. Garcia heard Molina calling for the ball. He looked back, then he had to rush his throw to first, threw it away. It led to a big inning. It also led to him leaving the ball game.
And the box score is going to show that Garcia pitched 2 innings, no earned runs, but he's out. Lance Lynn is the new Cardinal pitcher. Made 31 starts for St. Louis this season, and now working out of the bullpen in this postseason act.
And this is a guy that may have started game 2 if he was throwing the ball well, but he's given them, a lot of innings this year, 31 starts on the season, 12 wins, a low ERA. This guy throws nothing but fastballs, by 85% fastballs. A lot of experience in postseason. This is his 24th appearance in postseason. 14 out of relief, but you see the fastballs there galore.
Yeah, that's a different guy than what was out there moments ago. This guy is a power pitcher, 90 to 94. Hard slider.
Anthony Rizzo leads off for the Cubs. Cardinals got a run on a Carpenter homer in the first inning, and then the Cubs score 5 runs in the second. And Rizzo draws the walk. And that might be the thing that gets him going. Rizzo still hitless, but that's a walk to start the 3rd inning. Mike Matheny's had to go to plan B early here. Lance Lynn, one of his starters on the original schedule, one of his 4 starters for this NLDS. Michael Wacha and Lance Lynn. Lynn was scheduled to pitch game 4, but they'll make the adjustment for that down the road. They need him here in game 2 this afternoon. Michael Wacha will get game 3. And he's got Jake Arrieta to deal with on Monday at Wrigley.
Dennis, I'm curious about this quick change. I know it was a 5-run inning. They were all unearned. One of the errors by Garcia himself. Do you think they kept Lynn warming up because maybe the body language of Garcia when he came to the dugout, that he was down in the dumps, and thought, we need to get him out of there?
I thought he lost it, didn't you? I mean, I really did. I said he's out of sorts. I mean, he really was. It just affected him. Those 2 plays, it can't help but affect you right there. I mean, you make a bad throw, you duplicate it again. He almost threw it away again, and he was up, to begin with. from the first inning on, he wasn't really down in the strike zone.
Well, and those 2 hanging breaking balls to Soler, a tip off too.
Then has come in and he has thrown 6 consecutive balls here. Starlin Castro got it all started last inning, had a single back up the middle.
Not an easy thing to do, all of a sudden come into the bullpen after starting all year long. I don't care if you have history, haven't done it before. You've been starting all year.
He's been starting for a while as well. There's the first strike after the visit from Molina. Cardinals have Lynn in the game, but they still have activity in their bullpen right now. So, heck, you said when we hit the air, this feels like a bullpen game. I thought maybe that was skewed toward the Cubs with Kyle Hendricks making his first career start. Castro with a hit and run on. That's a base hit to right. And Rizzo never slowing down on his way to third. The Cubs execute the hit and run to perfection. First and third with nobody out in the third inning.
You know you're going to get a fastball. It's a perfect time to do it. He can't throw strikes. He's trying to throw it right down the middle.
Yeah.
Just trying to throw a strike.
And he did get a perfect one to go to right field on.
That's classic. A guy, Rizzo, doesn't run all that well, but he could have walked into third. Castro doing a nice bit of hitting right there, hitting the ball the other way.
Castro has been a great hitter in this game at times. Matter of fact, he led the National League in hits as a 21-year-old. That one's in the dirt. Molina keeps it in front. Close enough. Everybody holds their ground.
Well, since he came into the league, BA, the only guy that has more hits than him is Andrew McCutchen.
Starlin Castro with 991 hits since he debuted in May of 2010. Cubs were a little concerned. Maybe they lost him a little bit. Addison Russell took his job at shortstop, but Castro's been swinging the bat well since early August, and he's given him 2 big hits in this one. And finally, the Cubs getting production from the middle of their order. Jackson shows bunt. Why not? It's worked twice already. The Cubs are going to safety squeeze the Cardinals to death here in this game.
They had bunters camp, didn't they, there for a while? But we talked about that the other night. Everybody knows how to bunt in this lineup. No shame in bunting, especially when it works.
First and third, nobody out, and a swing and a roller to third base. That's foul. Foul ball called quickly there by the home plate umpire Welke. Right off the foot of Austin Jackson. Jackson was the real spark plug, the real igniter last inning. Yeah, you could see clearly off the top of his foot.
He's got a shin guard, but he needed something on his instep.
One ball, 2 strikes. Cubs have him at the corners. And that one misses a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Gary Jones going through the signs again. Reminds me of UL Washington with that toothpick.
Yeah.
That's a rally toothpick for the Cubs today.
UL was probably his idol.
And that's up and away. So Lance Lynn has come out of the bullpen and he has struggled to find the strike zone. Cardinals have another reliever loosening and ready to come in. Carlos Villanueva is in the St. Louis bullpen. Full count to Jackson and a swing and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. Lance Lynn needing that one big time. First out of the inning is a strikeout. Well, official caps, hoodies, jackets, and more. You can celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop. A lot more Cubs fans, at least a lot more Cubs fans in their Cubs gear today than last night. The series will take a day off tomorrow and then pick back up at Wrigley Field on Monday. That is going to be a great atmosphere there at Wrigleyville as Montero with a big swing and he fouls it back.
Well, I'll tell you, looking for a ground ball right here, double play would be huge. And this game's getting out of hand. You don't want to score anymore. It would be a little momentum boost if they can get out of this inning. Montero looks like he's trying to go deep.
And he certainly has the pop to do it. 15 home runs this year. Cubs got him from the Diamondbacks. And he brings a lot to the table. He is their everyday catcher. Yesterday, David Ross started. David Ross catches John Lester. That's why he got the game 1 call. But it's typically Montero behind the plate. Cubs carry 3 catchers, Ross, Montero, and Schwarber, although at this point Schwarber pretty much just an outfielder. 0-2 the count on Miguel Montero. And Lynn's pitch is fouled off.
Here's another one of those runner at third less than 2 out situations though for the Cubs that I talked about was a problem for them most of the year. An opportunity with a fly ball just to get that guy in from third and add to your lead.
And while Joe Madden believes in the safety squeeze, he doesn't believe in it that much to have Montero try to do it. So Montero's been up there swinging away.
Down and away here.
And this is away. Cubs grounded into the second fewest double plays in the major leagues this year. Only the Rangers grounded into fewer double plays. But Montero would be the candidate. And Montero with a big swing. That is no 2-strike approach right there. That's a full-on hit one into the bleachers swing.
He's trying to get one in the air over the seats. I mean, is what he's doing. It's a weird situation with a pitcher on deck. You know, you got to be careful, but he's going after him.
And that may be why Castro's still at first base. Even if he swipes second,
right,
put Montero on and work to Hendricks.
Big spot for Lance Lynn. Here's the pitch, and Montero ground ball at his pass moss. Wong's got it, and Lynn is there for him. However, another run comes in for Chicago. A well-placed ground ball by Miguel Montero. And a run is in on Lance Lynn. The Cubs now have a 6-1 lead in the 3rd inning.
That was a good at bat. He fought off some pitches, had some good hacks and some fastballs. And on that, what looked like an off-speed pitch, able to top it into an RBI.
Did a good job because he didn't hit the ball hard. He hits the ball hard. It's a double play, but I agree. He had a good at bat.
And these 2 run-scoring innings for the Cubs set up by various small ball plays, the safety squeezes, the stolen base at third.
Good swing. Joe Madden telling us before the game that Hendricks can swing it.
Well, his numbers wouldn't tell you that, but that doesn't always mean much. He's just in his first full season in the big leagues. He hit 50 this year. Oh, 50.
Yeah.
That was a hard 50, though.
I think that's a good idea, though, what you just said. What'd you hit this year? 50. 50 what?
Well, he did drop down a beautiful safety squeeze last inning. Cubs used a hit and run earlier this inning to set up their run.
You notice I don't say anything. I'm not talking about hitting.
Pitchers
hitting. They just don't.
0-2 the count. Runner at second, and Hendricks takes a ball high from Lynn. Well, the Cardinals, as I mentioned when we began our broadcast, played a near flawless game yesterday. That has not been the case today. Lance Lynn coming out of the bullpen does surrender a run, a walk and a hit. Cubs now lead 6-1.
Who's ready to have a baby?
Buster Posey.
You're not my doctor.
Come on, I'm sort of your doctor. I mean, we both wear gloves, and we always deliver in the clutch.
Gloves? Clutch.
No, I'm sorry.
Perhaps we take a vote?
No.
Okay, guys, are we gonna do this or not?
Let him try.
No.
Sorta you isn't you.
Honey, you're embarrassing me in front of Buster Posey.
Esurance helps make sure you only pay for what's right for you, not someone sorta like you. Esurance, official sponsor of Major League Baseball.
It's intelligent enough to warn of danger from virtually anywhere. It's been smashed, dropped, and driven. It's perceptive enough to detect other vehicles on the road. It's been shaken, rattled, and pummeled. It's innovative enough to brake by itself, park itself, and help you steer. It's been in the rain, the cold, and dragged through the mud. Introducing the all-new Mercedes-Benz GLE. It's where brains meet brawn.
There's only one way to get a gold PS4. And that is not it. Grab a Quesarito or Volcano Quesarito Big Box for your chance to win a limited edition gold PS4 bundle only at Taco Bell.
Exxon and Mobil give you energy for all life's journeys, because where we go is who we are. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
FanDuel has definitely changed my Sundays. It's made it a lot more interesting.
FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues are paying $75 million a week with immediate cash payouts and no commitment.
I've deposited a total of $35 on FanDuel and won over $2 million.
Just choose a league, pick your team, and get your cash winnings after Monday night.
It's like the best adrenaline rush ever.
Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Go to FanDuel.com and enter promo code END.
Some might call us old-fashioned for being the only distillery in America that makes its own barrels. For making our own charcoal and taste testing every batch of whiskey until it's perfect. Of course, anyone who calls us old-fashioned won't hear an argument from us. We know how to take a compliment. Jack Daniels, the way it was is the way it is.
6-1 Cubs have the lead, in our coverage of the 2015 NLDS on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. And between innings, Matt Weiner had a chance to visit with Joe Madden.
Joe, I'm guessing when you came to the ballpark today, you didn't plan on 2 safety squeezes and a home run to account for your big inning.
Did not. I'd be lying if I said so. We've been working on different things. You got to be prepared for a lot of different stuff this time of the year. You can't always rely on the home run. And our guys, we didn't execute the first one really well, but we'll take it.
Carpenter got to Hendricks for the leadoff homer. Nothing since. What's your read on him?
Well, I mean, he's actually throwing the ball pretty good. They've made some good contact, though. I'd like to see a little bit lighter contact. They'll feel a lot better.
Thanks, Joe.
My pleasure, buddy. Thanks.
And our thanks to Joe Madden spending a little time with us between innings, talking about his right-hander, Kyle Hendricks, in his first postseason appearance. The Dartmouth grad has an economics degree, and Joe did point that out before the game. He said fly balls that are hit well means trouble for Hendricks, and that has happened on a couple of occasions in this one. And a swing and a miss as Colton Wong strikes out. Oh, an excellent changeup from Hendricks.
How about no contact at all? That's all right. Soft contact, no contact. 6-1 lead.
That's his third strikeout. John Jay's going to pinch hit here. So Lance Lynn out there for just 1 inning. Still keeps him in a position to start game 4. Could also have Garcia do that. That'll give Matheny some options. So Lynn goes just 1 inning, gives up a run, and now John Jay off the bench. And a strike from Hendricks. Jay was another guy that was questionable to make the postseason roster. And because of the injuries to the outfield for the Cardinals, specifically Matt Holliday and Randall Grichuk, Matheny felt like he needed to add to his outfield depth. So Jay makes it, and Hendricks, wow, quickly dispatches John Jay on 3 pitches.
That was a beautiful setup there.
Talking about a beautiful thing, that little fastball coming back on the inside corner.
Now Matt Carpenter gets a big hand. Take a look at StatCast, powered by Amazon Web Services. This was the first batter that Hendricks faced in his postseason life, and a 412-foot home run by Matt Carpenter, and they had this place jumping quickly.
That would rattle a lot of people. He has settled in nicely, especially after that 5-run second inning.
And Carpenter loses the bat. Look out in the seats. Oh man, that bat helicoptered into the stands and hit a fan. Hit that lady. I hope she's okay. That just missed the netting. Cardinals, unlike a lot of major league teams, major league facilities, they actually have a lower netting, but Carpenter's bat went flying over the top of it.
How do you get your bat back? I mean, that never happens, huh?
Cardinal fan.
Cardinal fan. Totally. Thank God she's okay. Just got her in a hand.
Got her hand up there quickly. Way to be alert.
Baseball's looking into doing something about the protective netting, raising it up, running it down past the dugouts. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later to protect fans.
I'm sure there will be a gift headed her way from that Cardinal dugout. I hope so. Carpenter's got his gamer bat back, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Carpenter, little jam shot, pop up, long run for Russell, and he'll run it down for the out. So Hendricks has answered well after that home run. 9 up, 9 down since the Carpenter long ball.
Hey Siri, take me to Piazza Navona.
All right, listen up. We all know that DirecTV is better at this whole TV thing. So to beat them, we're going to get bigger. We're going to merge with Cable World.
Cable World? I can't stand those guys. They're totally incompetent.
That company stinks, and I mean they smell. I used to work there. I had to breathe through my mouth the whole time.
This is going to be fun, firing everyone.
Get rid of cable and switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Which truck brand do you think offers best-in-class HD towing, best V8 horsepower, and has Motor Trend's 2015 Truck of the Year?
Ram.
Chevy. What do you think?
A Ford.
Oh. Here's the answer. That's the Chevy Silverado HD, the Chevy Silverado, and the Chevy Colorado.
Chevy.
It's Truck Month. Now, qualified buyers get 0% financing for 72 months on this 2015 Chevy Silverado 4-door double cab. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
This is the feeling of turning a game you love into a lifetime of cash. DraftKings.com, the daily fantasy baseball destination, is giving away over $300 million this baseball season. And the games are one day, so you can play for your share every single day. Just pick your sport, pick your players, and pick up your cash. Step up to the plate at DraftKings.com. Play with promo code SLIDE and get free entry in our daily contest. Get to DraftKings.com.
Bridge of Spies is breathtaking.
Your mission does not exist.
It's totally riveting.
You should be careful.
Steven Spielberg has delivered a knockout.
Let's be clear. Nobody is safe.
Bridge of Spies. Rated PG-13.
It's hard to believe you can book over 11,000 local activities right from our app. It's even harder to believe it took you this long to come here. Expedia, technology that connects you to the people and places that matter.
Harold Reynolds here. When I need to catch up on baseball, I pull up my MLB.com at-bat app. Highlights and updates whenever I want. Follow the 2015 postseason. Get baseball's #1 app with more than 40 million downloads. The MLB.com at-bat app.
Back from downtown St. Louis, Cubs have a 6-1 lead in Game 2. A new agent is in play. Agent X, TNT's new spy thriller, premieres November 8th and 9th on TNT. Between innings, Matt Weiner had a chance to catch up with the Cardinals skipper, Mike Matheny.
Well, Mike, the 5-run second inning was largely self-inflicted, specifically on the Hendricks bunt. What happened with Garcia and the communication with Molina?
Yeah, I think he just came up first looking the wrong base. And, you know, we can't give a team like this in these kind of situations the extra outs, the extra bases, also with the ball not turned to second base. You know, those are plays these guys make. Today he got away, and it cost us a few runs.
Was the plan for Lynn to just go one all along?
Just kind of watch, see how it looked, but this was his day for a side anyhow, so we could get him in, get him out, maybe get an opportunity to put another bat in there to get us going.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.
And our thanks to Mike Matheny, Addison Russell for out number 1. So the Cardinals have made a pitching change. That's why Matt referenced the 1 inning for Lynn. We saw the pinch hitter John Jay, and the new pitcher Eck is Carlos Villanueva, a former Cub. He is in there for the Cardinals at his first postseason since 2008.
You see the games and the innings. You don't see that often out of a bullpen guy in this day and age of 1 inning. So he's a multiple inning guy, and he features almost everything. Fastball, slider, changeup, curve.
Villanueva has an excellent changeup as well, and a swing and a miss. Dexter Fowler out in front. Back on the left side goes Fowler, the switch hitting leadoff man. Fowler had an infield hit and an RBI in the second inning, part of that 5-run second inning for the Cubs. St. Louis is carrying 2 long relievers. Villanueva's the right-handed option. Tyler Lyons is the left-handed option for Matheny. You see the Chevy pitch arsenal for Carlos Villanueva this year. And Fowler, a hot one over to first base. Nice pick by Moss. And out number 2 for Carlos Villanueva.
And Villanueva's not a burner either. He's high 80s, low 90s, relies on sinking action and that slider to get some ground balls, and he's already gotten 2 here this inning, although hard hit.
Looks like an easy play in slow motion, doesn't it? That ball had some hair on it.
Oh, here is Jorge Soler now. And he has been the big bat in this Cubs lineup. Joe Madden played the card, put Soler in the lineup, and he has delivered. Had a ringing double to the fence in the first inning, and then he hit a bomb in the second inning to cap off a 5-run frame for the Cubs. Villanueva falling behind. Soler, 23 years of age, signed a 9-year contract as a 20-year-old as a free agent defecting from Cuba. Matter of fact, it was Yoenis Cespedes that was the first guy that year. That was 2012. That was the first window in the Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer era in Chicago, and missed out on Cespedes. It was thought, rumored to be, that the Cubs had a good chance at Cespedes that year. He ended up going to the A's on that 6-year deal with Oakland. But then they got their man, Soler, signed him to a 9-year deal, but knew he needed a lot of seasoning in the minor leagues. Well, he made it quickly, and he's having a major impact on this game. That's his 4th trip on base in this series, his 3rd today.
I thought he had a really good at bat last night when he drew the walk from Rosenthal. He's not going up there just free swinging, just trying to hit one into the seats on every swing. He's drawing his walks, and when he does get a good pitch to hit, he's not missing.
Keeps the inning alive for Chris Bryant. 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a ground out.
Talk about needing some toolage. In the clubhouse earlier, I saw Manny Ramirez over there. I forgot completely about him having been coach for them, hitting coach.
He was in the minor leagues with a lot of these young players coming up. Manny Ramirez, great influence. What a postseason hitter he is. There's another ground ball to short, and Peralta will go the easy way to end the inning. So Villanueva comes in for the Cardinals, settles it down a little bit. Cubs have a 6-1 lead in Game 2.
Take a look at these barbecue trophies. Best cracked pepper sauce. Most ribs eaten while calf roping.
Yep. Greatness deserves recognition. You got any trophies, cowboy?
Yeah, well, there's this one.
Best insurance mobile app.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Well, Alvin, does that thing just follow you around?
Like a little puppy.
The award-winning Geico app. Download it today.
Luxury is being pulled in a new direction, drawn to an idea whose time has come. Built with a revolutionary carbon core that is lighter, leaner, stronger. Because the best way to predict the future is to create it. Introducing the most innovative vehicle in its class, the all-new BMW 7 Series. Driving luxury.
Say what he said.
Next up at the plate, Giovanni Flip. Greek yogurt with a flip of tasty goodies on the side. It's the break you make.
To love is life is to live it naturally.
Can Bosley regrow your hair?
This is my own growing hair that I can comb, cut, style, do whatever I want with it.
The results I've achieved have been exceptional. This is my real hair. I can do with it whatever I want. This is mine.
Bosley gave me my hair back. I cut this hair. I wash this hair. I mess this hair up if I want to mess this hair up.
I can't explain to you the way that it made me feel to be able to wear my hair down, go out on a date, and have confidence again.
Can Bosley regrow your hair?
This is my hair. This is my hair.
Call or go online for your free, no-obligation self-evaluation kit. Plus, call in the next 6 minutes, and we'll even send you this $250 gift certificate. The information is free, so choose to grow back your own real hair. Choose Bosley. Call now.
The upcoming schedule is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Mets-Dodgers coming your way next from Dodger Stadium. The Mets won last night. Jacob deGrom was outstanding last night. Beat Kershaw and the Dodgers. And then tomorrow back in the American League. And the Texas Rangers have a chance to be the first to advance. It has been interesting in this postseason thus far that the road teams have done the damage. 6 wins, 2 losses for the road teams in the postseason so far. Stephen Piscotty leads off for the Cardinals. By the way, in that Mets-Dodgers game, that is Zach Greinke, the ERA champ in the National League, against Noah Syndergaard. 4 for the Mets.
Tough year to try to win the Cy Young, huh? I mean, really.
A lot of candidates, a lot of guys that certainly are deserving. Greinke's one of them.
Yeah, we're going to see the other one on Monday. There's Piscotty with a 9-base hit. Stephen Piscotty just keeps on hitting. 2 last night, including a 2-run homer and a leadoff single for the Cardinals here in the 4th inning.
Interesting note on Piscotty that when the Cardinals were not able to re-sign Albert Pujols and he signed with the Angels, the Cardinals got a compensatory pick, and it turned out to be Stephen Piscotty in the with the 36th pick overall in the 2012 draft.
The kid hits the ball all over the field.
Here's Matt Holliday now. And Holliday jumping on the first pitch. A high pop up. Back is Russell in the grass, and he'll call it. Now Jackson wants it. And Jackson makes the play for out number 1.
One of the nice things about Jackson being in there today, that gives them 2 center fielders, theoretically. Austin Jackson, a very good center fielder in his own right. Dexter Fowler's been the center fielder all year long for the Cubs. Both guys with great range.
Big outfield to cover here at Busch Stadium. Ball is definitely traveling better than it did last night. It was about 15 degrees cooler last night, and the wind was blowing in. Today it's just perfect. Temperature's going to move into the 70s, and there's very little breeze to speak of. And we've seen some long balls already. Here's Jason Hayward.
You talk about first sign of trouble, the bullpen goes to work, and Madden was telling us before the game, he was talking about Wood and Cahill, and I thought it would be the other way around. This but he doesn't want to see this get taken away.
It's such a different game in the postseason. Kyle Hendricks rolling along here, had retired 9 straight until that single by Piscotty. As you see Travis Wood getting loose. Madden did say he likes Wood for the bottom half of this Cardinal order. He thinks he matches up very well from Hayward on down.
You got to be impressed with what Hendricks has done pitching inside these left-handed hitters to try to get some room for his changeup. He's keeping them honest, not allowing them to break over the plate.
2 balls and a strike on Hayward, and that one misses low. 3-1 the count.
Really just a 2-pitch pitcher, but his changeup goes 2 directions. That's hard to do as a starter. Throw 2 pitches, but you saw him almost punch out the side last inning with it.
Now Hayward in a hitter's count. He's the cleanup man once again today. Hendricks checks on Piscotty. Hendricks came to the Cubs organization as an A-ball pitcher in the Ryan Dempster deal. That was also in the first year of the Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer era. A shrewd trade that was. The Rangers had Hendricks in their system. They liked him a lot, but he was buried in the lower levels. He was just getting his professional career started coming out of Dartmouth, and was traded at the trade deadline of 2012. Dempster sent to Texas. Hendricks ended up in Double-A with the Cubs the next season in 13, and then ended up in Triple-A last year before he made his major league debut in July of last season. And he was lights out when he came to the big leagues.
Yeah, 7-2 last year after he came up, and he wasn't that high a draft pick by the Rangers, an 8th round pick in 2011.
And he is on the mound for game 2 primarily because of what he did in his last 2 starts of the regular season. 12 scoreless innings. Piscotty at first, and another check on him.
The big pitch in this game. I know it's 6-1, but you got a guy warming up. Madden doesn't want this game to get away from him at all.
Find out how much trust he's got in his changeup right here.
A lot of throws over. I don't know if those are being called from the bench or if Hendricks is going over there on his own, but a significant amount of attention being paid to Piscotty.
I'm locked in on the hitter right now. I would never throw over.
Doesn't certainly feel like a stolen base opportunity, but he might be trying to ice Jason Hayward at the plate a little bit. Hayward asked for a timeout and is granted timeout.
3-2 change.
He's got a lot of confidence in it. Let's see if he uses it. And the 3-2 runner goes, and Hayward fouls it off. He was way late on that pitch. It came in at 86 miles an hour.
Goes to show you, 86 got in on him. He was sitting on that changeup.
Yes, he was. Pretty good job of fighting it off by Jason.
Runner goes again. Rolls over one. And Castro makes an easy play for the second out. Piscotty will advance to second base. 2 gone in the inning. Well, StatCast powered by Amazon. We look at this great play by Addison Russell. And the arm strength from that position is impressive.
Yeah, it was. That was amazing. 77 miles an hour from that angle after the diving stop.
I like the step and the dive more than the arm.
Looked like a bit of a tricky hop as well. Yep. Robbed Peralta of a base hit back in the second inning. That play by Russell.
First runner in scoring position for the Cardinals. 2 for 7 in that spot last night.
And this has been an area of concern for Hendricks as well this year. So in this exact scenario, 2 outs, runners in scoring position, opponents with a .328 batting average against him. Very high. And Peralta, big swing, fouls it back. It's 0-2 on the Cardinal shortstop.
Dennis, just because he throws so many strikes and he doesn't walk that many guys, he's definitely on the plate.
Definitely. They're going to make contact. He's not a strikeout guy. I mean, he gets his strikeouts, but I wouldn't call him a strikeout pitcher.
2 outs, no balls, 2 strikes on Peralta, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Kyle Hendricks, with the bullpen active, puts up another 0, and the Cubs still lead 6-1.
What's happening here is not normal. It's extraordinary. 291 people, 350 tons, 186 miles per hour. You're not sure what's on the other side to that time after you land. But momentum pushes you forward. You are a test pilot, breaking through where others broke. This is why you take off. Same reason the pioneers before you went in canoes and covered wagons with wild eyes and big fevered dreams. And it's why we're with you. 80,000 people now, on the ground, in the air, engines on. Because there is no stop in us. Or you. Only go.
What if there was a bank that didn't just ask members to save, but also helped them to save? That allowed families to keep more of their money, letting them use any ATM nationwide for free. And because every dollar matters, didn't nickel and dime its members with monthly fees, saving them more than $345 million in 1 year. That would be a different kind of bank. That would be USAA Bank. Go online to find out more about our free USAA secure checking account today.
Looking for a real breakfast burrito? Don't look for it at a burger place. Get everything you love about breakfast scrambled, chopped, and dropped into a warm flour tortilla. Stick with the burrito experts, Taco Bell's Grande Scrambler.
Exxon and Mobil give you energy for all life's journeys. Because where we go is who we are. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
Every villain knows a getaway car requires abundant power, impeccable style, and of course, the cover of darkness.